Today we're spectating a Season 2 Grandmaster Namor to see what they do better and how we can improve together. So we have our guy here, McFly, and we're going to be spectating him with quite possibly the worst Namor skin in the game. Let's be honest. So as you can see here, just picking out some shots to begin with. He's not throwing any squids down, but he does also have the Hulk team up, which is something that's really important. That never got banned in this game. He's put the squids off to the side here, which means that they don't get damaged, but also they don't have the best line of sight. Now, people do know now to look on walls and things for Namor squids, and they managed to have an extremely great push all the way back into the enemy spawn here. I don't really know exactly what happened, but that was an insanely good push. Maybe the Captain America on their team pushed them back pretty hard. I'm not really sure, but that was an insanely good push. So he's holding up right now. He didn't really do too much there. They did push up the back a little, but not too much happened. And I don't really think many people really died as well. He's got the squids up on the wall here. That is a destructible wall, so it's a bit annoying. This is a good placement right here. I like these walls to the left and right of this choke because if anyone comes close to you, they're going to get attacked by the squids almost instantly. Again, they're doing a really good job at pushing the enemy team back here. The dive of this Captain America and Hulk team and his team is just doing a really good job. Got the squids up on the wall now. Really good positioning behind the enemy team. Takes out the Human Torch with no problems at all. This dude has got really good aim as well with his primary attack. So he is landing a lot of shots as well. And what's good about Namor is that you don't need to stop firing. You can just keep firing. You don't need to reload. So that's one of the good things about playing him. Now, this push is insanely good. And I think it's mainly thanks to the dive that they have with Captain America and Hulk. But this guy's obviously hitting his shots as well, which is definitely doing a really good job. Now, these squid placements not going to really help unless the enemies come through the wall. Obviously, it would be behind them, so it is a good position, but sometimes you just need to place them in the obvious place or right in front of the enemy so you can get good line of sight and deal a bit extra damage, because dealing that extra damage is better than having perfect squid placement all the time. I play a lot of Namor, and you don't always need to place them in what people would think is the best placement. Just place them right in front of the enemy team. Sometimes that actually works out as well. Also, it can body block certain attacks from Wolverines and Black Panthers and even Thor as well, which is on the enemy team. So if the enemy Thor tries to dash into your squid, it actually stops it, which is pretty good. Especially since dashing with Thor is like one of the main things. Push right up again. This is good squid placement now because good 1-2 combo right there, which took out that Black Widow almost instantly. Good placement again. He's always placing it behind the enemy players because they're going to be focusing you. They're not going to be turning around to look at a squid when you're right in front of them. So basically, in a 1v1, they're almost always guaranteed to lose here. Now, one thing I don't see a lot of low-level Namor players using is the fact that he can actually float in the air. I think it's such a cool mechanic with Namor. I think he should have had some kind of wall bounce mechanic as well, kind of similar to what Black Panther has, where he can kind of jump off the wall and then float for a while. But even when you come off a high ground, make sure you take advantage of that float because it's not a predictable movement at all for this hero in particular. Everyone thinks you're just going to land straight down, where not always are you going to do that. Now that we're halfway through this video and a very quick round, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we do spectate high level players, low level players, and any world records in between that. There's a lot more we can learn when it comes to Namor and his squid placement and his just overall mechanics. So let's get right back into it. Quick skin change now, and we're on the defending side. Now this side takes a little bit longer, so we'll get to see a lot more of how this Namor plays against a Venom dive, which he basically absolutely destroyed by placing 2 turrets and just dealing loads of damage. 2 turrets, especially with the Hulk team up, is absolutely broken, to be honest. So they've got the enemy team pinned back into spawn again, which they're doing a really good job of just pinning the enemy team in constantly, man. I don't think they've really had much of a chance, especially the previous round. Now, I think in this round, they're going to wait kind of for some ult charge at least before they decide to push out because they are getting pinned back heavily. Now, these squids are to protect his backline. As you can see, he's sitting back quite heavily here because he knows there's a Venom in this enemy team, so that Venom will dive at some point. And when he does dive, those squids are already placed perfectly to protect his backline. Now, most high-level teams like to hold this position. He's found a quick jump spot there. That's not something I've ever used, but that's something I will start to use as Namor. So there's a quick jump spot you can use with players with less mobility, which that is something that you learn as you play the game or when you spectate these other high-level players that know these kind of mechanics, which is a pretty cool jump spot, I'm not gonna lie. So that's something that I will start using as Namor. Usually I waste my bubble to try and get to that high ground, and then you're waiting for that cooldown. And we all know how important Namor's bubble is if you're a Namor main. So, like I said, pretty cool jump spot nonetheless. Now we've got that Venom dive, and as you can see, perfect placement with those squids. He was waiting for it, and when it happened, he was prepared for it. So, as you can see, that double squid on the wall waiting for the Venom dive was insane. Now, when you use Namor's bubble, you're always kind of hoping that your teammates heal you up because you're safe for that short couple of seconds. And hopefully your teammates just see you. You're a massive bubble in the sky and they heal you up. And it's the best way to use it. You can also use it to stay alive during certain ultimates. Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, Magneto, to name a few. Again, same exact placement for the squids because the Venom can't do nothing about it. So again, absolutely counter the dive pretty much by himself. The team is peeling to some extent, but I don't think he really needed to peel. Gets a revive right up here. That was really good positioning for that rocket beacon. Now he's doing the line of sight thing where he can get as much line of sight as possible on the enemy team. Because having squids right here, they will get destroyed quicker, obviously. But if you want to deal that little bit extra damage, then that is the best way to place them. Now he's just firing shots down range, just trying to hit that rocket. Does actually get a kill on the rocket as well. Doing an amazing job of holding this enemy team back still. And he's just firing shots at range. He's supporting his supports essentially. He's not going too far in because he doesn't really need to. Now the Invisible Woman's done an ultimate and the enemy torch has done an ultimate. So he's dropping back now whilst throwing his squids on the wall behind the enemy players. They're not really going to be looking at this location. Uses his floating mechanic to get healed up and to make his movement a bit more unpredictable. Like I said, everyone expects Namor just to drop straight down. They forget that he has the kind of glide mechanic that he does. Gets another res here. And he gets taken out by the Iron Man ultimate. Try to go after the rocket here. There's a hell in the sky, using his cover to his advantage, as you can see here. But the enemy team is still pushing the payload, so he needs to be careful of that. He's trying to destroy the rocket respawn, which he does. The rocket ults solo. I don't think there's anyone else to take advantage of that ultimate besides him. Gets another respawn. Oh my god, this guy's died so many times, but actually just respawned so many times. Got his squids in that doorway. Dropped a squid behind them, but unfortunately gets taken out this time. And he will not get another respawn this time. Taking up this high ground now. Put his squids on the wall to the left, as you can see. And as you can see, that squid placement is insanely good. The Hawkeye could have focused that, took his squids out, but they've disappeared now anyway. Got the secondary shot on the Human Torch, but unfortunately it was not enough to get him out the game. And the good thing about Namor squids is because they auto track, it kind of lets you know if enemy players are trying to flank you. So if you know there's a lot of dive on the enemy team, Namor's great for just detecting that. Like as soon as you start getting hit markers, that means if you've placed your squid behind you and you've only placed one, then you're getting flanked, right? And not only that, they're going to be taking some kind of poke damage from your squids as well. So it's a good kind of detector of flanks as well. He's running back here. I'm not really too sure what he's doing. I don't know if there's a... I don't even know what they were looking at there. I don't even know how they knew the rocket was there, but that's cool. He's probably going to take out this Human Torch. Good secondary hit, man. He actually landed that shot there, which when you're doing the 1-2 combo, you want to make sure you're landing the secondary fire because that's what's going to give you that extra damage boost to your squids. So we're pushing up with the Luna ultimate, gets the damage buff from the Luna ultimate, takes out one player with the Namor ult, but he's getting buffed a ton here when it comes to that Luna Snow. It was a great push with that Luna Snow ultimate, I'm not going to lie. Again, placing the squid behind the enemy player. So that squid was placed behind the Venom before he started running away, of course. So it lets the enemy players make a decision, right? Do you need to focus on the squid or do you focus on Namor? But it doesn't really matter which one you do because you're going to die anyway, especially if you're landing your shots. Again, now using the squids with just perfect line of sight. Our Iron Man basically saves us with his ultimate there. We've got another Hela ultimate and he's trying to block the damage here and gets a 1-2 combo on the Hela as well, but gets taken out because... There we have it. That is our player McFly, who goes 37 and 5. And let's be honest, this could have been 37 and 10 almost with the amount of respawns he got from his rocket. But what I do want to mention is that his squid placement is pretty solid. If he's playing against Dive, he has it up on walls. If he's playing against a Magneto, for example, he places it behind them to give them a decision to make so he could win his 1v1s. Or he places it in just good line of sight to make sure he's dealing the maximum damage possible. Then he uses his jump spots as well, which we learned earlier in this game, where a hero like Namor doesn't really have good maneuverability, so he is using jump spots to his advantage. But that is it. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.